Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, the Jerusalem psychotherapist. In this week's Torah and Psychology post, Naso, we're going to discuss the idea of hierarchies in relational systems. What that means is we're going to look at the way that different systems and the relationship between people within the system functions, and how there is a hierarchy in the system, and what that means. So, if we look at this week's Parsha, we have the significant idea of the Bichas Kohanim, the bracha that the Kohanim give to the Jewish people. And this is a special task that has been given to the Kohanim, that it's their duty, and they are the only ones that are able to say the special words and the special tefillah of the Bichas Kohanim, and that is given over to the Bnei Yisrael, to the Jewish people. And this has become an integral part of our davening, when in the Shliach Tzibur, in the Shemona Esrei, where the Kohanim are able to give over this bracha to this day to the people davening in the minyan. And it's interesting that both on a conceptual level of Birchas Kohanim and also with the wording, it's very similar to the bracha that parents give to their children, the minhag to give a bracha to your children on Shabbos night. The wording is very similar as well within the text of the bracha. And conceptually, we can say that there is a similarity in that there's somebody who has a position, a duty, a role that they can give over a bracha to somebody else. So the Kohanim giving to the Jewish people and the parents giving to the children. Now the similarity goes further because it's interesting that we could say there is a hierarchy here. We have a hierarchy set up in the system, whether it's on a national level of the Kohanim to the Jewish people, or whether it's on a family system level with the parents to the children. But what is the function of this bracha? Does it suggest that the Kohanim are superior and higher up and have an elevated status? On one level, yes. Do parents have a status that is you could say, have a elevated and also of greater significance, and have there's a certain value to parents which is above the children in the hierarchy? The answer to that again is yes. That is the point of the idea of a hierarchy. But what is important to stress is that a hierarchy is set up for the good and for the functioning of the system. So the Kohanim, we have the pasuk in the Torah that we are commanded, the Jewish people are commanded, Bnei Yisrael are told we need to give honor and respect and recognize the holiness of Kohanim. To understand that the role of a Kohen deserves our appreciation and acknowledge the special status that a Kohen has. And so too there's the mitzvah of kibbud al v'eim. We have a mitzvah, a child is told that they must give respect and honor and fear towards their parents, to understand the special role and status that the parent has. But as we said, this is for the hierarchical, the efficiency and the success of the entire system, how it needs to function. Because at the end of the day, the bracha that goes through the Kohanim and the bracha that goes through the parents is not necessarily suggesting that inherently the Kohanim are more important, or inherently the parents are more important, but rather Hashem has given them the role and the important role and duty to be a conduit. To be a conduit for the bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is to say that the honor and respect that Kohanim and the parents deserve is because of this system that the Kadosh Baruch Hu has set up. When we look at the hierarchical system that is set up, it's not to create fractions and disdain and in a way to create distance between the different parts of the system, but rather it draws together. It creates a healthy dynamic. If we say there is a separation and a boundary between different parts of the hierarchy, that there is a separation and a difference, a distinction between Kohanim and the Bnei Yisrael, and between parents and children, it's not to create distance, but rather to make sure that the relationship works and functions in the best way possible. And this creates a healthy dynamic. And that is what we can say about systems in general. Systems, from a psychological perspective, the systems theory is that it looks at boundaries not to create distance or to create friction between people in a relationship, but rather the boundaries, if we can say, serves a purpose and creates a dynamic between different parts. That is what we can learn from this week's parsha, the special role that Kohanim had and the special quality of Birchas Kohanim, and how we can actually compare this to the role of parents and with children, all to understand the idea of hierarchies in relational systems and how that serves a function to make the system work as effectively and in a healthy way. And that is an important message for us to understand. Everybody has a role, everyone has a duty, and as long as we can understand that and appreciate what that demands of each person, then the system will function in the best way possible. Have a good Shabbos and keep well.